Hello and welcome to the Kismet Podcast. My name is Carina and today in the studio we've got Nadine Nasser-Eldon.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm so well. How are you?
Good, thank you.
It is lovely to have you here.
Thank you. I am a little bit nervous, but you're great at making me feel so calm. So I'm hoping this will be like a good journey to go down.
It's going to be lovely. I'm very excited to hear about your journey and a little bit more about who you are because we've really only met each other once or twice in the last few months. So it's going to be a really nice opportunity to just have a yap and get to know each other.
Any chance to yap, I'm always down.
Happy days. So what I would usually say is, what do you do at Kismet? And I'd love to hear about that. But I think with you, because you've got a bit of a Kismet-y story of how you got there, maybe can we start with what your role is at Kismet and then how you got to that point? What's your career journey been so far?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on the CX team, which is the customer experience team. And what we do is we're more on the front line and we handle a lot of the customer interactions and queries. So over the phone and via emails. So once we, get any queries that NDIS related, we're here to help them navigate their journey as well, utilize their plan and sort of just like troubleshoot and problem solve any queries that they have.
Awesome. And how long have you been in this role?
Oh, it's been over a year now.
Great. Yeah. Okay, lovely. And so what was your journey like prior to Kismet? What was your goal? What was your main aim? And sort of how did you make your way here?
Yeah. So it's a bit of a long story. So I started off when I was 19 years old. I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to do in life. So out of high school, I figured that I really liked science and biology. And I was pretty good at it. So I went into uni and did a health science degree. And my sort of vision was to get into optometry, so that health practitioner route.
Interesting. How did that come about?
It was just something that, when you're just kind of out of high school, you kind of don't have too many options to play around with, right? It's a lot of people were either going down that teaching route, lawyer, maybe even just becoming a health practitioner. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I seem pretty cool. I might give that a crack. And, what I did as well out of high school, I really wanted to get into the workforce. So when I was studying, I worked at OPSM, which is a glasses place in Australia. And I was there for about 8 years. So my whole journey starts from there. So when I was at OPSM, I was really into training people and taking on more managerial tasks. So I figured that I really like that more business operation model rather than becoming a health practitioner. So I asked myself, after uni, do I really want to go and do a postgraduate degree? Do I see myself as a health practitioner? And the answer was no, because I didn't see that in myself. I was more into, again, business operations and training people, more working with my colleagues. That's what I really enjoyed. So when I was only 19 or 20, I became one of the seniors there as well in my store. And I was taking on weekend shifts of being a manager when my manager wasn't around and just kind of really dabbling into that world. And it was really receptive. People receptive to it quite well. So I really enjoyed that. So I took a big risk and I put my hands up and I started managing my own store.
Wow.
Yeah. This was right at the start of COVID, 2020.
Cool. Great timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Brand new career. Don't know what I'm doing. Everything shuts down. So what happened was I actually worked throughout the whole entire COVID lockdowns. So there wasn't even a moment of times where I kind of just stayed home and waited, for things to open up because we were an essential care place. And they kept us open. I was in a very small store, just managing myself and one other person, 2 people. And it was actually one of the worst performing stores in the whole country.
Wow.
Yeah. And my goal was to turn that around. And
How'd you go? How'd you do it?
did it within 10 months. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Congrats. That's a big deal.
Thank you. I swear, I look at myself when I was younger, in my early 20s, and I think I achieved a lot at that age. I was just so driven and ambitious, and I still am. So what I did was going from a small store from that January, February, 2020, by the end of that year, I was managing one of the largest stores in the whole country.
I feel like I would love for you to take a bow because that's obviously it's a bit tricky logistically right now, but that's so cool.
Yeah.
Here are your imaginary flowers.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
No, thank you so much.
How did you do that? What was your focus to switch everything around?
Yeah, look, I just always looked for an opportunity to upskill myself and then upskill those around me. So during that time, there was a lot of technology that was going into eye health. And a lot of people, because it was a very traditional industry, they weren't very open to those changes. And I saw this as an opportunity to drive those changes. So I learned a lot about the new technology, and I started running workshops for managers that weren't on the same level as me, but they were probably 10, 20, 30 years my senior.
Wow.
Yeah. And, that's a challenge in itself.
Yeah. How did they respond to that?
They did. They responded really well. It was really good because we did it as a way to kind of encourage together and how can we motivate our staff to, adapt to this new technology and obviously embed that into the selling and into customer experience and whatnot.
Okay, so that industry, it really runs the gamut of who comes in for those services, right? You have little kids and then you have all the way up to people who are well on into their lives, 90s, etc. How did you go with that? Because that's a tricky thing to be able to manage. If you've got a core demographic, that's one thing to be able to focus on. But when you've got a huge group of people from 0 to 100, how did you manage that?
So it really depends on the person. And these types of technology, like you said, because it's a big age range, you can't really force it onto anyone. So we really just sort of focused on the youth first and their eye health. And we're talking digital lenses. And this was,
What does that mean?
So instead of it being, off-the-shelf lenses with the prescription in there, this was digitally customized to the person's eye movement, eye health, their prescription. And that in itself, a lot of people have doubt with, right? Because this is their eye health we're talking about. You don't want to spend extra hundreds of dollars on something that you might think is gimmicky because it was quite new at the time. So it was really an education tool for us to understand who does this work for, who can we, talk to in terms of when we're having that customer experience journey, and how can we make them comfortable to pay a bit of money to use these lenses. So it was a lot of troubleshooting at that time. And we figured out again, probably, I want to say, that 12 years old to 25 worked really well because they were always on their computers.
Yeah.
That type of lens was what helped with anything that was more, phone or computer, because this was the age range that we're always on some sort of digital device.
That is so interesting to me. So a lot of the work that you were focusing on was upskilling yourself to then upskill others. And were you doing that from the get-go? So in 2020, so for the last sort of 4 or 5 years, that was sort of your main focus to get – is it sales that make you the most successful, or is it foot traffic? How do they figure that out?
So when I was at the first store, it was a lot of community engagement. So I would go to cafes and engage with the workers there or the owners. There was local grocery stores. It was really just word of mouth because it was a really tight-knit community. And the reason why it was viewed as the worst performing store is because it kept undergoing management, different types of management. So people just would have avoided going there and they'd just go to their other local optometrists instead. So it was a lot of word of mouth. That's how I realized that marketing was such a very strong tool there.
That's super cool. Did you enjoy that aspect of it, kind of getting in and having a chat and kind of meeting folks, on the day-to-day?
Absolutely. I loved it. They even had a community Instagram page. I'd reach out to them on emails. I'm like, hey, we're here, give us a little shout out. And, it doesn't really cost anything because it's just a community page. And, that's just how you put yourself out there. And it was just really bonding with people, building rapport. I've had people come and bring me flowers from time to time, chocolates. It was just so sweet because they were like, thank you so much for these pair of glasses. They work amazingly. I'm going to go spread the word now. And that's really how it worked. It was just such a community piece that helped elevate that experience and let other people know about it as well.
That's so lovely. It feels rare. It feels rare for someone to be in a position in a community for such an extended period of time, right? Especially someone who maybe is younger than most folks would anticipate being in a community in that way, being able to provide that service. It must have really brought such an energy to the place and to the environment and the community that you're in. Yeah. I'm curious then how you made that decision to leave, because it sounds like you had such an attachment there to the community and to the store and to the job that you were doing and to the team that you were managing. How did you make that decision to move?
It was just, again, I needed something to upskill myself and challenge myself, and this opportunity presented itself. And who knows when another opportunity would present itself like this. And
Yeah.
it was just, I was young, I was ambitious. I was like, okay, I'm ready for the next step. I thought, okay, give myself 2 years and then kind of build up from there and kind of work up slowly. But I'd gone from 0 to 100 within less than a year.
A lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. And when I had moved into my next phase, which is one of the biggest stores, that was when end of December, I don't know if you remember, but everything had opened for the first time. So like I remember I was adapting to obviously a new team. I was adapting to a new community, and now it was just people everywhere. It was so busy. Like I remember I'd go to the back and I would just like have a cry. Can I do this? Am I equipped for it? It was just such an overwhelming experience. But I always said, if I can get through that time of my life, I can tackle any challenge. Like it was that much very intense, like during that period. Because like even, I feel like it was just unprecedented times, right? When everything opened, everyone was in the shopping centers just buying things. Everyone was excited. Don't think we'll ever see a time like that ever again. But
That must have been weird too, having been in such an isolated position and obviously still being an essential service, you were seeing people on the day-to-day, but that would have, did you panic? I would have been very freaked out by having a small amount of people and then going full into kind of retail services with a ton of people.
Yeah. I was that person that you would go to deal with your complaints and just things like that, where you would be that source of person that to make that decision. And I was still learning. It was a very overwhelming time, but I took it on the chin. And I think what really, really helped was I looked for help with others around me. I didn't look at myself as I'm your manager. I looked at myself as we are a team and I'm still learning. And I had an assistant manager who to this day is one of my life mentors. Absolutely love her. And she had taught me so much, and everyone just kind of kept me really grounded. And it was just the team, the care factor. I think that's what really helped me get through that time.
So from there, what was your Kismet journey? How did that happen?
Okay, so it's a funny one. So 8 years later, I had left OPSM, and I just, you get to a point where you'd been at one place for so long, things were not very friendly, how work environments can get, not the best. But anyway, I was like, all right, I need to get out. I took just like a corporate job, account managing for a year. And it was just, I knew it would be a transition for me to find what I really wanted to. Kind of give me that grace period for a year to figure out what I wanted to do as my next step. And my fiance has been in tech for a very long time, and I knew that's where I wanted to go. I've always been interested in tech, but I didn't really possess, obviously the skills of a software engineer or anything like that. I'm like, okay, what can I do? Kismet is healthcare and tech, and I've got the healthcare experience, and now I have the opportunity to learn for tech. I think I had applied for Kismet the first time because I saw it on Seek. And I didn't get a call. And then he sent me a link, I think a week later. He's like, hey, look, they're advertising this job. You should check it out. And I'm like, I think I've applied for that before, but I'll try it again. So I applied for it. And Mon had called me that night. Yes, that night at, I think, 7 o'clock. She's like, hey, your resume came across, I came across it. Are you open for an interview? I'm like, oh, yeah. She's like, can we meet now? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I was jumping in the shower.
Yeah,
So
wow.
I was jumping in the shower and I'd gotten the call from her, and I was like, stop everything. Let me go to my computer. And I sat down, had a chat with her. Absolutely loved her and the vibes. And obviously she felt the same way. And it was one after another. Then I met with Lauren, and then I met with Mark. And then 3 days later I had the job.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's fast.
I know. And Mon had told me actually when she was in the hiring process, she'd come across like hundreds of applications. And I think she said that night she had just locked in. She's like, I'm going to lock in and I'm going to just let the energy bring me these resumes. And she had found me in Georgia, which is one of my other Kismet colleagues.
Yeah, great.
And we were both the two that she gravitated towards too. And yeah, called up and the rest is history.
She did the
Her
spooky,
woo magic.
yeah. She called you.
Yes.
She brought that energy to her.
Exactly.
That tracks.
Yeah. So when we had a chat about it and she told us, I was like, okay, that's a Kismet story.
Yeah, because that's so super interesting. Because gosh, they must just get so many. It's such a tough gig to go through. Like recruitment is really tricky, and you've got a bunch of people, and of course now with AI, it's tricky because everyone's putting everything through a filter. But that is awesome that you and Georgia were able to kind of be like, picked out of all of the folks. That's awesome.
Yeah, so blessed. And it really came, and I never ever thought, I don't know why, I didn't really think my background in OPSM in terms of figures and whatnot, I thought that would be the driving factor, but it was really that unreasonable hospitality, that care factor that I was able to have a talk to her about, my community building. Like everything that I was able to achieve really came from my heart and my place of caring for people. It wasn't ever, we have to get these numbers and these KPIs. And, it was, I put people first and the rest just followed.
It's really interesting hearing you speak about that community involvement and the initiatives that you went out of your way to focus on, and the upskilling and the putting the energy into yourself so that you could learn more, so that you could better others and you could better your environment and better the community. Listening to you say that, I'm like, well, of course you're here. That feels so in line with it is in line with everything that Kismet is about and the culture that is created. And it's funny, I'm not at all surprised to hear that it sort of feels like you always would have made your way here by virtue of having that experience and that the way that you have worked previously.
Yeah.
So that's lovely. That's so awesome to hear. And so how have you found it moving into a different environment, a different area?
Yeah.
How's that been?
Look, it's been great in terms of my team and whatnot, and, the aspect of NDIS and that care factor, that is all still there. I think what was the hardest transition for me was the working from home, which sounds silly, but I had always been in a team environment. So, I was in a clinic for 8 years. I was in the office for a year after. So, and I was like, working from home, this sounds so exciting. I love it. And don't get me wrong, but I love having people around me, and I crave, that team bonding and experience, that's why I go to the office quite frequently, just to kind of get my social fix a little bit.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, I think that was probably the thing that I struggled with the most, is just feeling very siloed and at home. You speak to people all day on the phone, so it kind of gives you, that social aspect regardless. But I can't turn to the side and, see my friend there and have a chat with her.
It can be a little bit tricky. There's so many. Such a big believer in work from home. I love it. It's worked so well for me personally. I know it's not for everyone, and that's fine. But I do hear you that when it's sometimes on those days where you can look up and go, I've been doing this for 6 hours and I haven't taken a break, or, it can be, you can get super locked in, which is great on the one hand, but it teaches you a lot about boundaries, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the making sure that you are very intentional about taking breaks and taking time out and getting up and walking away. But yeah, it's great that you've got such a supportive team and that everybody's in the same boat. How have you gone with that learning journey for NDIS? Because it's so vast.
Yes.
I'm trying to learn about it more and more every day and understand how it works. And how has that transition been for you? Obviously, you've got experience in the healthcare sector, but what's that been like, that journey?
I'm still learning. That's the thing, right? With the NDIS, it's such a complex industry. It's very grey, and a lot of it could be based on judgment. So I think, we've had the training, we have the tools that we use in Kismet, which is incredible, and they're actively working on building tools for us just to service our clients, because at the end of the day, you do want to do right by the client, like the customer, but you also want to do it in line of the rules, right? So that's the balance that I think was a bit tricky, is how do we go about making their day? Or if they want something and it's a no, like how do we deliver that message? And what I love about Kismet is, if something is a no, can we find an alternative solution for them? And how do we help them? How do we guide them? So we have, again, that care factor is driven into us, and delivering a hospitality that's quite unreasonable. It's like, how do we go above and beyond to service our customers? within the realm of NDIS.
Have you got a particular interaction or a particular story that has really stuck with you over the last 12 months?
I think I might have told you this one. And you had to cry.
I did. I was so, I don't know why I got so emotional when you told me that, but I would love to hear it again because I think it just speaks volumes of you and the team. So I would love to hear it if you would love to share it.
Absolutely. So this was in my early days, and I had a call from one of our customers' mum, and she was saying, her son he's diagnosed with autism and he's ADHD and he has OCD and he's in primary school. I think he must have been about 9 or 10 years old at the time. And he was getting bullied in school on top of that because they saw different traits in him and he was really self-conscious of it. And she said something that really broke my heart. She said, I don't want to get something that is like a sensory item because that will make him more of a target for bullying because it's making him stand out more. And usually with sensory items, it helps ground a child to kind of ease their nerves, essentially. So she'd come across this device. It's called a calm carry, and I think it transmits wavelengths to kind of ease anxiety and help sleep. I'm not too familiar with it, but anyway, I did a bit of research in it, and it's not funded by the NDIS. So I'd reached out to Lauren, and I'm like, hey, this is the story. I really want to deliver something, unreasonable hospitality. What can we do for this participant? And she said, here's my card, go buy it and just gift it to them. And I gifted it to him and called the mom, and she was so grateful for it. And then about a year later, she'd call to thank us. She said, I'm not looking to buy another. I'm actually buying this out of my own pocket because it actually helped my son so much. And I thought, something that costs under $100 that we could have, we were able to gift ourselves because we were in that privileged position, helped a child's life so much. You're going to cry again?
I know. Sorry. Because it so easily could have just been a conversation where you were like,
no,
so sorry, no. And I just think it really speaks volumes of your character and Lauren's character, in particular, Lauren, one of the co-founders. What would have been such a small thing from that end has really created like ripple effects, right? For this family, for their extended family, his friends, for the way that he feels in himself and the way that he's able to show up in his community. And I just think that that's really special because you don't get that everywhere. So thank you for sharing. I love that story so much.
I know. I do too. Sometimes when I have a hard day, I think to myself, I like to focus on the positives, and I think back to that time. And sometimes, when you do sometimes a good thing, you might not see the end or you might not know what the result is. But the fact that she called and said this made a difference in people's lives, I think puts things into perspective that you don't need to know the outcome, but something so small can just really make a huge impact in someone's lives and you'll never know about it. But if you have the ability to do so, I think you should just do it. You never know. Some small interaction, smiling at someone, complimenting them goes such a long way.
Oof, okay, I need to just take a second because, I get emotional thinking about that stuff because, it doesn't happen every day and I just love it. I just love it so much. So I want to hear more about you now.
Yes.
You have shared that you come from... You know what? I'm just going to let you I'm going to let you drive this one. So I would love to hear a little bit more about your family life, if you would like to share about it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I come from a Middle Eastern background. I was born and raised here. Mum was born and raised here as well. So in terms of culture here, it's always been a bit of a struggle and a balance because a lot of the community around us of the same culture. And growing up, sort of the norm was, you get married young, you have kids young, and, each to their own at the end of the day. But that was something Mum really embedded into us was education is key, always have something into your hands. And I always remembered this thing she always said when we were young, and I never really understood it. She said, Nadine, you go to uni, you graduate, that is the key in your hands. And I was like, what key? What am I going to open? No, but then, I understood is a lot of females around us especially don't have that independency where they, go to uni and travel the world. And again, they've just chosen a path that is more traditional. And it is something that I see quite often. And I always felt a bit trying to find that balance, I was a bit different to other people and my friends as well, because we didn't really have that want to, settle down at such a young age. And you don't really see that here in this country anyway. So my mum didn't have those opportunities when she was younger. She got married young, she had children young. So, and that was the culture, the norm at that time. And, that obviously seeps into the next generation and onwards. And I think like my siblings and I, my friends and I feel like we kind of broke that cycle where we make our own choices and we really put a lot of our energy into our career and our future, build something for ourselves so we are ready for the next step of our lives. And when we do want to get married and have children, we've already built that foundation for us. And we don't need to rely on anyone, to get us through any phase in life. And I will always thank my mum for that because, again, she didn't really have those opportunities when she was younger. And she was our biggest supporter. Whatever we wanted to do, she was always there supporting us, encouraging us. Go travel, go study what you want, but just have something in your hands, So when I'm at an age like I am now, I can always fall back on myself.
Bet on yourself, invest in yourself, make sure that you've got that foundation. Yeah, it's super interesting. So how have the choices that you've made sort of affected the relationships that you might have with maybe your extended family? Are they a little more open to the less traditional path that you and your siblings have taken?
Yeah, look, on one side of the family, on my mum's side, definitely a lot more traditional. And that's where we kind of stood out a little bit. So there'd always be questions, when are they going to get married? When are they going to have kids? So I think for us, like my sister and I and mum, we really just blocked all that noise out. Some people would just want to know things, but we just stopped listening to those noise and just did our things. So out of high school, we'd gone into uni, figured out if uni is for us or not, if we wanted to, go on with that, or if we wanted to go into the workforce, and really just put a lot of our energy into that. And for me, obviously, was like OPSM and building myself from there and really kind of building that foundation for myself.
That's I imagine that would be really tricky when you're getting a lot of chat from folks around you. It's hard not to listen to that, or it's hard not to shut down from wanting to be a part of that. And I'm curious how you've managed those relationships moving forward, if that's something that you're able to, have you been able to put those sort of boundaries in place to say, hey, I love you, but I can't talk to you about this thing? Yeah,
look, I definitely have. And my family and my immediate family, and then, like my aunties and cousins and whatnot, and I have around there, I'm so lucky to have such a beautiful environment around me. It's more beyond that, like my mum's relatives, etc. It just keep very civil with everyone. And I think that's the main thing. There's no bad blood, there's no bad relationships. I think people with time just kind of got used to it anyway, right? They're going to get used to it.
I'm beating my head against a brick wall here. Yeah. Nothing's changing.
Yeah, they get used to it. People don't really care, with time anyway. I think maybe at that time, because I'm growing up, the world feels so much personal when you're in your teenage years or your 20s, and you think all the eyes are on you.
So dramatic, yeah.
Right? But then you grow up, I'm almost 30 now, and I realize everyone is just too wrapped up in their own world to even care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really, again, not that deep. I've learned that lesson. Take it day by day. Who cares what people say? That's been my biggest life lesson. But boundaries has been a big thing for me growing up. Blocking out noise has been a big thing for me as well. And just really doing my own thing and having confidence in myself, taking a risk. I didn't want to do an optometry degree. What did I want to do next? This opportunity was right in front of me. Did I know if it was going to work or not? Who knows?
Just jump though.
Just jump.
Figure
just
it out.
Do it. Yeah. It's life short. And I feel like your 20s, that's what you kind of figure it out.
100%. That's when you got to make those crazy decisions and go, is this going to work out? I don't know. But I am confident enough in my own naivety to just jump and figure it out. So that's great. It feels like a rite of passage. Everyone's got to have those opportunities, right? To just go, fell on my face there. Glad I didn't do that when I had a boatload of responsibilities to deal with.
Yes, exactly. And just really open to traveling as well. I think that's been such a big thing. I haven't done too much because I feel like I don't know. I feel like those COVID years, so it was more like
Yeah.
my early to mid 20s. I thought those would be the years that, I just set off and do whatever I needed to do. But obviously wasn't the case for a lot of us. But as soon as we were able to, I did international travel to Korea with my cousin. And that, I swear, changed something in me because I realized the world is so much bigger than the city we live in and the home we grew up in and what we do for work. And that really just shifted my perspective in life. I just realized there's just so much out there, so much beauty, so much culture to learn. And then I did Japan the year after as well. I know.
I want to go so bad.
Oh, you haven't been?
I haven't been.
Oh.
It's been on my list for 15 years and I've wanted to go, and we almost went as a family last year. Didn't quite work out, but it's right on the top. It's the next overseas trip I want to take.
Amazing. Hit me up if you need any recommendations.
Okay.
Please do.
So what did you love about it? Because there's so much, it's going to be different. Now I have kids, it'll be a different type of travel. But I was really excited to do like coffee crawls and all around. Apparently vintage shopping out there is unbelievable in certain areas of Tokyo. And so what did you enjoy about it? Where was your focus when you were there?
Really? Anything and everything. I don't know. Like, I feel like, again, when I was in South Korea the year before, I'd never traveled on my own prior to. So it was just like, whoa, I feel like a child and the world's so big and everything is so new. And I think for me is I love to go in with an open mind. Shopping, obviously, get an extra suitcase if you can and pack light. That's my biggest tip to you. It's just phenomenal there. But it's just learning like about the culture. And I think what I loved as well is we'd gone to places that weren't very touristy and you got to see a lot of the people in their day-to-day life and it felt so homey and it's just exploring and it's one big adventure. And I love that. I love the freedom it gives me. I think that's my favorite thing about traveling. You
kind of have to do a lot of trusting, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be careful, obviously.
For sure. Yeah, have your wits about you.
Yeah.
Be a little street smart, but
That's right.
also
figure
it out. Like it's fun to get lost.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I feel like your whole life gets put on pause. You're on annual leave, so you don't have to work. That was a big thing that I had to learn is don't check your emails when you're on holiday.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
But that's it. Do you know what's a game changer though? There's really only been a few. I wasn't in the corporate world for a long time and then I was. And then when I took my first holiday of annual leave and I was getting paid and I was on holiday, it's like, this is the dream. This is what people talk about. It makes such a difference. And it's such a privileged position to be in, of course, like being able to be in a position where you have that as a benefit to be able to take advantage of. But gosh, it really makes a difference, doesn't it?
Carina, OPSM, by the end of it, I swear I'd racked up like 300-400 hours worth of annual leave. Like I did not take that much leave. Work hard, not too hard. Enjoy your life.
Yes. Good for you. Okay, I'm glad that you found a little bit more balance.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's a shitload of hours, dude.
It is. Look, obviously part-time and whatnot for the first couple of years. It's not like I was working full-time, but for like the 3-4 years I was, again, it was COVID.
Yeah.
I think that was a massive impact on our lives. And I'd worked throughout the whole time. So it's not like I had much opportunity to do your staycations, but not like international travel. And again, that was when I'd gone to South Korea. I think that was a big eye-opening experience for me. Take your leave and enjoy your life when you can, obviously.
For sure. Where do you want to go next? Where's your next travel destination?
So I've got 2 places that I'm going to this year. So I'm going to Bali, which I'm really excited about. And then we've got Fiji coming up as well, which is great. So there's like different types of travels coming up. Like, you used to in Japan, it's a very like hustle and bustle, city life. So I'm keen to experience more of slow down. Yeah.
Take a breath.
Yes.
Get in a pool for a second.
Yes, I know. That's an option too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then hopefully if it's in the cards, obviously everyone wants to do a big European trip. Like Middle Eastern travel is great as well. You've got beautiful countries everywhere around the world. I don't know. I don't really have a bucket list when it comes to travel. I think whatever vibes, opportunities are presented to itself, I won't say no.
Yeah.
But there's not like a place I'm like dying to go to. Yeah. I think the Asian countries that I'd gone to, I think they were like really ones that I gravitate towards to and wanted to experience. So now it's just I'm open to anything.
Well, you know Mark is big on vibes.
Yes.
So vibes.
Vibes.
Hey, I want to talk to you about goals.
Yes.
How do you feel about them?
This is interesting.
Okay.
Because I feel like I've achieved a lot of goals in my 20s up until now. So I do feel very satisfied in my career journey and my path. So I think now the next phase for me is building a home. And I think that's the next step that I look forward to. I think it's just like that natural trajectory in life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's our goal or like a traditional, I don't know. Again, you approach your 30s, I think though that maybe that's natural. I don't know, but that's sort of what I look forward to now.
That's lovely. There seems to be you did a lot of hustling in your 20s.
Yeah.
And maybe the goal now is just to have a little bit of a rest and just enjoy where you are.
Yeah, I think so. I've done a lot and I'm so happy with where I am. And I think I just want to see what the next chapter has to offer. And I think it's more now investing in my personal life more than anything.
So what do you do to have fun? What do you do outside of work?
I love to go to Pilates. I
Great.
got into Pilates. I've been in Pilates for about 2 years now. And I started at the start, it was more for, I used to get a lot of backaches and whatnot. And it's helped so much my posture and just obviously kickstart a fitness journey for me as well. I love to go on walks as well. They're one of my favorite activities. Like my fiance and I, one of our just fun activities is every single weekend we always try and find something new to do. But our thing is we love to go into the city and just explore the city and go for a big walk, get, your 10, 20,000 steps, see what's out there, go in the laneways, do a bit of shopping, where we love just having just an adventure together, which is so beautiful. Trying new restaurants as well. I try to keep quite social, and my fur babies, love spending time with my fur babies.
Who are they?
I've got a cat. Her name is Lucy.
Cute.
She is a Ragdoll, and she's turning 7 years old this year.
Old
yeah,
lady.
I know. I don't want to think about it. I got her in COVID, so she's a COVID baby. I know.
They have so much baggage, these COVID pets.
She's lives such a beautiful, privileged life, and she's so anxiety ridden. I don't know where. And again, I think it just comes from her being so isolated for the first 3-4 years of her life. So when people come over, she's like, "That's right, upstairs."
See you later.
Yeah,
Cat? What cat?
Yeah, she's the best. Love her. She's my best friend. I love to have a cuddle every night.
Cute.
She's so cute. And we have a German Shepherd as well. Her name's Olive. Yes.
Whoa.
She's like again, COVID baby.
Yeah.
And she's basically a golden retriever in a German Shepherd's body. She's like the sweetest puppy. She's not a puppy anymore. She's the sweetest pup. She's turning 6 years old this year.
Wow.
And she's scared of my cat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Have you spoken to Justine? She loves German Shepherds. She's the biggest German Shepherd lover of all time.
I don't think I've had that conversation with her about it.
She's had German Shepherds, I think, in her family forever.
Wow.
And I will never forget, because I had a neighbor who had a German Shepherd and I was scared out of my wits from this dog. I'm sure the dog was fine. Nothing ever happened. Not like I ever got bitten, but it's an enormous dog and it's so loud.
They are big dogs.
And when I met Justine, when we worked together previously at Explore, we all went out to one of the parks in Melbourne and we had a picnic. And it was like there was this German Shepherd palooza. There was all of these people who had gotten together with their German Shepherds. And I was like, "Ugh, I'm not loving this." I was a little bit scared.
Yeah,
of,
I
the
don't
amount of
blame
German
you.
Shepherds.
Yeah.
And Justine, who's tiny, just walks up to this German Shepherd. She gets on her knees and she just puts her face into this German Shepherd's face. And I was like, she's going to get her whole face bitten off. Her whole head is going to get ripped off by this gigantic dog. And she's like the German Shepherd whisperer.
Oh, bless her soul. She's such a little ray of sunshine, isn't she?
I couldn't believe it.
I'm not surprised, that girl.
So anyway, you should chat to Justine about German Shepherds because she's a fan.
Yeah, no, she's such a cute dog. She's just so friendly and she's just always so excited to see people. And I'm like, you're supposed to be a guard dog. she's
Get it together.
Yeah. But no, not really. I couldn't train her to be like a guard dog or anything.
Yeah.
It was like, she's definitely my dad's the alpha and she loves my dad. But yeah, she's gotta love your fur babies. Just gotta love them.
Yeah. How do you feel about luck?
Yeah, look, I'd like to think myself as, I don't know, I think my family and the way that I grew up, I think that's luck and privilege. I don't know if you consider that luck, but to me, that's a blessing. And I'm a very lucky person to have had such a strong family unit around me growing up, because I know a lot of people might not have that. And again, considering the cultural experiences that I've had growing up, you see how different it is to other families. So very lucky to have family that kind of just shielded us from all that and let us do our thing. But a lot of luck as well. Is just a lot of hard work as well to get to where we are today. I think as well, like especially in my career journey, I don't think all that was handed on a silver platter. I think a lot of that was just a lot of ambition, motivation, and just investing time into myself as well.
So I love this. We are at the stage where we can go into closing questions. But is there anything that you are burning to chat about? Have you got something at the moment where you're like, damn, can't stop thinking about this one thing?
No, but I will bring up a really cool experience I had.
Yes.
So you think that I'd be nervous having a chat to you in front of a camera today, but I've actually had another experience like this in my lifetime.
Okay.
So when I was at OPSM, I actually did a national campaign for them. I know. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes, like I was...
Like the TV spot, you did the whole advertising.
Yeah, commercials, billboards.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want to Google it. Okay, can I find
I don't know
you?
if you'll find it.
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about it. How did it go? What was the whole campaign? Were you playing yourself?
Yeah.
How did it work out?
So again, a lot of what I did at OPSM, I was considered a high performer. So I had gone to Sydney and met the execs there. And for some reason, I guess one of them just remembered me, and they had called me to be part of this national campaign they were doing. And they were doing it like very people focused. So they were using their staff into just similar to what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Very similar.
And like Virgin and Qantas, they have their own staff do the safety videos and all that. Great.
Yeah. So I'd flown interstate to Sydney, and oh my God, I had felt like an actress or something like that for the whole day. So they had professional camera people. I was mic'd up. I had a makeup artist, hair artist on me at all time as I'm rolling my clothes.
Yeah.
It was so fancy.
It's so nice to be the talent. It's so nice.
It's so interesting. I know. So there was a few of us around Australia. I think maybe like one per state or something like that. Like when I got mic'd up, when the guy was micing me up, he told me like he had done, like your reality shows, Real Housewives of Melbourne and all these like reality shows, maths, whatever. And he'd worked with them. So I was just like asking him questions. It was just like really cool to, I guess, have a conversation with someone who's in the industry like that. Yeah. And we had done like a commercial, and it was just like a one-shot commercial. Like, the cameras, it's cool. Like from one place to another. That was like a full day's worth of work, a big day. But I feel like the reason why I said yes, and mind you, again, I'm very nervous to be on here today, not anymore, but I thought to myself, who in their lifetime can say they've been part of a national campaign?
Hell yeah. Not that many people.
Yeah. And I thought, once in a lifetime experience, fuck it, have fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, just kind of goes back to what we were saying today. If an opportunity presents itself, take it. Doesn't matter how scary it is.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy the process?
Loved it. I loved it. And I was one of the primary faces on the posters.
Excellent.
So I had like people messaging me all year. It was so wholesome. It was really, really lovely. Just to really be able to experience something like that in my lifetime. And obviously this, again, doing a podcast.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Good for you. Because it's intimidating.
Yeah.
That environment can be really intimidating when you are the sole focus of 80 or 100 people.
Yeah.
They're all there to work on this one campaign, and it's like you're that person whose energy and focus and attention they're guided towards. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but I got no expectations. I was like, I'm going in to have fun.
Yeah.
Like that was really my motto, is I just want to go in and enjoy myself. And, I was like, okay, I don't like being photographed, but because I had such a big smile on my face, like I ended up loving the photo.
That's so good, Nadine. Oh, I'm so happy for you that it was a positive experience.
Yeah, it was definitely a positive experience. So something that I'm very grateful for, that I've been able to experience in my lifetime.
Do you want to watch the ad on camera? Because I found it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
God. And this is your that's your photo on Slack.
It is, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The next tab is the video.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I stay up. Can I watch it? You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's a 30-second ad.
Welcome to OPSM. With over 90 years of experience in Australia, OPSM has the passion and expertise you can trust and the latest range of
You look great.
that suits you.
How's the style?
Amazing. Because great eye care starts with a great team. Look at eye test today.
Okay, Margot Robbie.
No, not even close.
Dude, that is so cool.
Thank you.
That's a big one.
Thank you.
Hell yes.
I don't know how you found that. I thought they got rid of it because it's been so long now.
Oh my God, nothing dies on Facebook, dude.
No.
How cool. Oh, you should be really proud of this spot.
Thank you.
Wow, that's such a time capsule too.
I
Like really fun
know.
to remember, like, this is who I was and this is like the energy that I had at this time.
I know, it's really special. But yeah, just definitely one of those once in a lifetime opportunities that I'm just so glad I said yes to.
I'm so glad you found this, Aristea. Thank you so much. Alrighty, so it is time to jump into our closing questions.
Let's do it.
And I mean, we talked a little bit about goals and you're sort of happy to be enjoying things where you are right now. But is there one thing in particular that you're kind of working towards for the next 12 months that you're like, yep, this is something that I'm aiming for? Maybe it is travel.
Travel, really just finding new ways to upskill myself within the Kismet world.
Oh, cool.
I think that's like a big goal for me this year as well. And really just building, like, socializing and building friendships with my colleagues as well is a big one. But yeah, I'm definitely so keen to see where I'm going to be ended up towards the end of this year. And I'm hoping I'll have a lot more knowledge than I do today.
Awesome. Okay, so maybe we can do this as your, because I mean, this is so relevant because it's coming up for your wedding, but usually I would say, you know, it's your 40th, your 50th birthday.
Okay.
But maybe it's your wedding. But no, let's do it your birthday because we want it to be focused on
let's go
just you.
Years ago, years from now.
Years from now. So it's your 50th birthday party and you have your most favorite people in the world. Another one of these times in your life, hopefully, where you'll have a big party where it's just about you. What do you hope that people say about you in your speeches?
I'm just hoping I've left a really good impression on people and created a safe space for people and been that person that you're very comfortable to go towards and hope people would think I'm very kind-hearted. I want to be that person that I hope for, that have created a safe space for a number of people in my life, and I want them to think about me in that way.
And finally, if you could go back and have a chat with baby Nadine, what would you want to say to her?
I would just tell her, make the most of where you are today. Don't take yourself too seriously. Be silly. If I can go back and rewatch Hannah Montana and High School Musical and do all that experience for the first time, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But yeah, it's just more, just be yourself and enjoy your time. And that's something I tell myself every day still.
That's so great. I think you'll have your Hannah Montana moment.
Yes!
Yay!
I know, 20 years. Can you believe that?
It's wild to me. I cannot wait.
My God, but yes. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you for being here. You did so well.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Made me feel so comfortable. So credits to you.
No. Thank you.